I look back on the previous things we did with great joy, and I'm sure this is a wonderful idea of Mark's, and we owe him a lot. It's brilliant, and it's lovely to work with him. So I'm seeing it's so good to see some familiar names. There was a perfect just then, and I seem to remember having a conversation about whether they lived in Canada with my second cousins, and I can also see Alexandra Brooke, which is nice, and she wrote the words for the last verse of this arrangement, and has a big hello Ralph from Carol Webster. Hello Carol. So when I joined, there seemed to be fewer people, so people have run away. As soon as I started talking, I think. I was expecting it to go up from 230, and we've gone down a little, but I'm sure we'll go up again in a minute. Very good indeed. Well, it's a lovely sunny day here in London, central London, a couple of 100 yards from Victoria Station. People say, wouldn't you like to live in the country? I like the country, I like visiting the country, but I like to be in London. I like to be where it feels as if it's all happening. So, yep, indeed, usual suspects here, Glenys. And hello, Colette. Hello, Barbara. And as soon as the gong of 3:30 goes, we shall start on our most recent task, the national anthem. Our national anthem, shared by quite a few other people, other nations across the world. Alison's tempting me to have a drink. It is too early for a drink, I think. No, Alistair's saying no, it isn't too early. We'll see what happens. Maybe a soft drink, maybe a cup of tea, you meant. I'll have a cup of tea later, absolutely. Hello, Jane. Judy Vickery. Hello, Judy. You're not related to Maggie Vickery, are you? That I knew ages ago. If you are, please put something in the chat till I see it. And because that's an unusual name, Vickery. Hello, Joy. Hello again, Alexandra. Very good to have you with us. I'm so pleased you mentioned bells at just the time you did in your words, because it meant that at that moment I could put bells in the organ part. Well, as close as you can come to bells, and then everybody singing bells at the tops of their voices. Christine would like to be in London. That's splendid. And here we go. Awesome long messages coming up now. Oh, we've suddenly what did I say? We've gone right up now, because it's past. We've gone right up to 300. So that's fantastic. So shortly, I'm going to begin. I'll just give time for the last people to turn up. Obviously, experienced choir members coming on time, because we all know that we're a real team. We're one of the best. A choir is one of the best teams in the world, I think, because it has split-second timing. Everybody breathes together. Everybody's important. Everybody contributes, and there's something about human activity that makes us love doing things together at the same time. And the feeling that there are people all over the world doing it just makes that feeling better, I think. So it's rumoured that the Queen likes a Jubilee. There are bound to be rumours like that all over the place. I once started a rumour just to see how quickly it would come back to me. And it took 2 days for the rumour. And I'll tell you about it sometime. It had carrying power because it was slightly eyebrows up. I'd been built a lovely new music school in a school I was director of music of, and with a friend, we decided to see how long it would take the rumour to get round. And I said, right, send the rumour round that I'm not very happy with my new music school. Of course, I was really happy with it, but we went, and it only took 1 day before I saw a huddle of teachers in the common room, all looking terribly seriously, and disperse when I came into the room. And so I came clean and told them that it was simply me seeing how long it took a rumour to get round the school. And it was 24 hours to get straight back to me. And the man who had been talking was amused, I'm pleased to say. And so it was all lovely. Right. Well, why don't we, before I risk telling another story, why don't we get straight on with this? I'm going to tell you 1 or 2 things about how we're doing it. Obviously, we're doing it for the Platinum Jubilee, and that is wonderful, of course. It's a lovely thing to be doing. And we are doing it because, and I don't think we would necessarily do it if the Queen wasn't the Queen that we know and love. And she's an absolutely remarkable lady that truly does her duty, and just think how difficult it is to say the right thing and smile at all the right times. And she works extremely hard, and much more is going to be said about the Queen, of course. But I do understand that you've come together to sing this. Some of you will be able to read music and are used to it and are in choirs. Some of you won't. And if you simply sing and want to join in, that's absolutely fine. Have a go. I told somebody of this morning that I was doing this afternoon, and I said, you can come along and sing. And she said, oh no, not me. And I said, yes, you can. Just come along and do it. If you have friends that say, oh no, I can't sing, you want to hear me, no, or rather you don't want to hear me, ho ho, and all those jokes, ignore them, get them to do it. Just get them to come along and make a sound and have fun. And if they're embarrassed, then you can go away while they're doing it in front of the computer and get them to join in. Now, some of you may have needed some courage to come along today, and that's excellent. So simply take courage and have fun and make a sound. And I estimate that about 99.8% of humans who've ever existed don't know about notation. So if you don't know about crotchets and quavers and B flats and F sharps and things, it really doesn't matter. Most people who have sung do not. Most people learn it by gradually picking it up. And there are tracks here for you to learn from. The tracks that you'll be provided with are the full Monty, which we're going to hear when I've finished gassing away. The full Monty, full ensemble with organ. And what an organ. It is the organ of St George's Chapel, Windsor, with my friend Luke Bond playing it, who's a great character, and I hope we'll persuade him to come on and meet everybody at some stage. And he played it. I did the arrangement and he played it. One day he just read it, did it straight away in St George's. We've got that. Then we got Rodolphus, that's my choir, Rodolphus Choir. We got 4 of them to come along and sing the support recording. So you'll hear somebody singing tenor, bass, alto and soprano. And that's the full ensemble. Then those individual parts are amplified, each of them. So it's called parts louder with organ. So you can hear just your part and pick it up. Then there are parts on their own with the organ. So you've got to just listen to the parts on their own and copy it. If you do follow the music and follow the notes, then you will get better at reading it. You'll get better at reading music because you will, as you sing the notes that you copy, you'll see the notes in front of you and you'll gradually get the idea of what they mean. Then I think I'm doing okay because we've got 380 people now. Thank you, everybody. Welcome the extras. Then there are without certain voices. So you can then try yourself out and see if you can do it without your part to support you. So if you're a tenor, you'll have the bass, the alto and the soprano, and not the tenor. So that's without voice tracks. So you get parts on their own, without that part, and then you get parts louder with the organ and the full ensemble, which is great fun. Okay, so this is the largest choir Mark has assembled since Messiah. Messiah was 3,600 people. It's amazing the pull that Messiah still has. And this is 1,800 people. So by the time everybody listens to this, they'll listen to this on a video. You don't have to come to all the sessions. You can listen to recordings. There will be 1,800 or so. And there's still time for more people to put their names down. So I hope they will. I'm Ralph Allwood. I've done a couple of other projects before. I'm a teacher and a choral director. I used to run the music at Eton College, and I now run the choir at Queen's College, Cambridge, and do a little bit of teaching, and the choir at the Old Royal Naval College Chapel in Greenwich, that amazing Wren Chapel, beautiful. Do come and hear us on a Sunday morning or evensong on a Monday evening at 5:30 during term time. Fantastic place. Just sit there and listen. People of all faiths and none are welcome to come along. I run choral courses during the summer. I started them in 1980. They're now called the Rodolphus Choral Courses. They used to be called Eton Courses. I run the Pimlico Musical Foundation for children here in Pimlico who wouldn't otherwise sing. And when I finish this session, I go running off to Inner Voices, which is a teenagers choir from the southwest of London. So that's me. All sessions that you come to will be at 3:30, 60 minutes approximately. If there's any problem, email Mark. I don't know how he does it, but he seems to manage to reply to all emails within about 5 seconds. I think he's complete genius for doing that, and so he's amazing. Everything, there's no need to be here live because everything is recorded for you to see later. It was quite fun to be live when everything's happening, so that if my glasses fall off or a cat wanders in behind me, then that's amusing. Why did I say that? And then all live sessions are at 15:30 for 60 minutes. Come to as many sessions as you like. You can try and sing tenor and bass if you like. I'll talk to you in a minute about how to tell which you are. And that will be useful for people who say, yeah, I know what I sing, but we can still do it. And then the 16th tomorrow is sopranos. Then on the 17th, altos, 18th, tenors, nothing on the 19th, and 20th, Sunday, basses. And then good, we're doing 3 verses. The last verse is written by our own Alexandra Brooke, who is with us now. So thank you, Alexandra. It really works beautifully. It's a new arrangement by me. New 3rd verse written by Alexandra, and I'll tell you about the voices in just a minute. You will hear 4 people: Habina Seo, soprano; Katrina Bedford, alto; Benjamin Staniforth tenor, and Richie Zhang bass, and they're the four Rodolphus singers who join in. You have everything you need to learn the music. I've told you about the various different recordings, and then you will record your voice. I've just recorded me conducting the whole lot, so you'll be able to do that at any time. You can even do it, well, not quite right now, but it'll be ready soon for you to do. And then you watch me on the screen, and you have headphones so that you can see me conducting and hear what's going on, and you just press record on your mobile and sing all three verses, and then you hand in that and leave it to the experts to put it all together. The only sound picked up by your phone or iPad will be your voice, and there's a Dropbox thing which Mark will make clear, and we combine all the voices in the studio to create the choir. You can make as many recordings as you like, and you can start doing your recordings from Thursday the 17th, as soon as we give you the conducting video. And we need videos by 22nd of April. We play back the full choir to you on Thursday 2nd of June 2022 at 5 o'clock in the afternoon as part of the Jubilee celebrations. We shall also present a recording to Her Majesty the Queen's private office at the same time. And there's another thing to say to you. If you do want to come and visit Pimlico, the ideal time would be, I'm doing a concert on 30th of April at St Gabriel's Church. It's on the St Gabriel's website, and or just ask us and we can give you details. I've never conducted Brahms' Fourth Symphony, and I want to. So I am hiring an orchestra myself on the 30th of April, which is going to be my 72nd birthday. And and the man who taught me it at school, it was the first Brahms Symphony I ever got to know. The man who taught me it at school, David Neild, will be guest of honour, and in St Gabriel's, Pimlico. And that's 5:30, 30th of April. You can find it on the St Gabriel's website, but you may like to join in the Fauré Requiem before it, in which case you turn up at 3:15 in the afternoon. Anyway, ask for further details if you need to. I've been talking quite a lot. I'm going to talk a little bit more because I'm just going to tell you about well, why don't we hear the full ensemble? Then I'll tell you about the national anthem, what we know about it. We don't actually know for certain which composer sat down and wrote the tune. But just let's listen to it, and if you would like to sing along to it, do. Let's just do a little bit of stretching like this. And I find that preparing to sing is a question of being in the mood to sing. You want to communicate with your voice. I'm in the mood for singing now because I'm enjoying communicating with you. And you need to get into that mood. But also, if you do this, up like this, round like this, down like that, ooh, and get that back flexed, then that really helps the breathing. And you will want to breathe more when you do this. Go on, do it up in the air and right down so that the shoulders feel as if they're just stretching nicely backwards. Up in the air again, and it'll make you want to breathe more. So say, yeah, all right, I'll be breathed. Let yourself be breathed. And more comes in. And then with your shoulders delicately back and you're sitting up tall, proud, it's lovely. So, and then just sing me ma, 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 like that to go. Ma, 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 ma. And now try ma, 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 ma. And sopranos will be up there. And go. Okay, this is my piano, by the way. Okay, and now what about this one? And 2, 3. Okay, and this one. Higher still. Basses, if that's too high for you, I completely sympathise. Go down to this ma, 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 ma instead. Okay, here we go, and go. Oh, sorry, here we go. Get that right. And go. Your turn again. 2, 3. Okay. And this one, everyone. Ma, 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 ma. And ma, dee, dee. And any other things. I once recently got a choir, and I said to them, just do whatever warm-up you want and just wander around the chapel and do all the warming up you want. It was cacophony and wonderful and funny, and everybody sang very well after that. It's a lovely way of doing it. Right, Luke, are you still with us? The great Mr. Bond, Luke Bond, is going to sing the fanfare at the beginning. Then we're going to join in, and mostly it's one line, one breath. There's one point where we all go over. The first verse is entirely in unison. God save our gracious Queen. The second verse is in harmony, my harmony. And then the third verse goes up a semitone after another fanfare from the organ. And then there's a descant at the end. And the descant, anyone that would like to, any soprano, no basses are allowed to, any soprano is welcome to record that separately. So you sing through it and do the last verse with it. It's a brief descant, but you've got to have a top B flat. So you've got to like high notes. Okay, but if you can, it's such fun. Okay, so sing if you like. I will sort of vaguely conduct as you do it, but mainly you're following what you hear, of course. Here we go. I'll just put my headphones in, and then I'll be able to hear what you're hearing. Okay, here we go. Okay, Luke, take it away. St. George's, Windsor. Just to remind you of the tune, just in case you've forgotten. Here we go. God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Santa victorious, happy and glorious, long to Okay, Luke. Long she has served us now, faithful to every vow, great she has seen. Nor less the birds of ring, and every name and you'll notice at the end that the last chord is pretty long. So there's 6 beats on the last chord. Queen, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quite slow. And we slowed down quite a bit at the end. Also, the thing to note, it's terrible if you've done a recording of it right to the end and then you sing God Save the Queen instead of Our Queen at the end. Alexandra particularly wanted it to be God Save Our Queen because she's our Queen. And so we'll listen to it again in a moment, and then we can I'm just glancing at the chat. Oh, thank you for saying nice things about my modulation. Hope you enjoyed it. Descant's quite short, but I just thought you hear this in the organ. Listen out for that, and then it says. Then there's the bit. Now let the bells ring, and ever let us sing. Okay, and so Luke is playing. Is playing bells at the organ, or in the second part. Now, if you I can see somebody there getting in training who's an alto singing the descant. You're allowed to. Please do, if you're an alto, sing the descant. In the second verse, thy choicest gifts in store on her. We don't take a breath there. Thy choicest gifts in store on her be. And my rule for when you think you're running out of breath is just keep using the breath. Don't preserve it. Don't go careful, or you'll be inefficient. Just carry on using it. And if you want to sing, if you're worried about the sound you make, you will be less good. My experience is that nobody makes a nasty sound. People sometimes say, oh no, I don't sing, you don't want to hear me sing anyway. And I say, I do want to hear you sing. I've never yet heard somebody make a nasty noise. Also, bear this in mind, that what your voice sounds like to you is not what your voice sounds like to other people. You may think you're making an unpleasant sound, but it's other people who can hear clearly what you sound like, not you. The best way of deciding is how it feels. It should feel good. And if you're in the mood for communicating, when you sing, I'm now looking out across the square with its beautiful trees in it. I'm more in the mood for singing when I can see beautiful trees in front of me, and I perhaps imagine somebody, and there's Alistair waving to me, so I can sing to him. I'll persuade him to come and say hello one of these days, and then and so I can sing to him, or I can sing right the way over to the garden. So feel in a communicating frame of mind. Humans' ability to communicate with each other and to work in teams is one of the most important reasons for our amazing evolution into the beings we are now. And so when we collaborate with split-second timing in choirs, that feels really like the real thing, the ultimate in collaboration. And that's why we like it so much, quite apart from, I hope you like the music, and I hope you like the descant, and I hope you like the fanfare. But it's actually singing it that makes all the difference. Now, we're going to do it again in a moment. But I'd like to just tell you about the origin of this thing. When you did run the music at Eton, I came across, somebody sent me a card with what Thomas Arne, who was at Eton in the early 18th century, what he had written for a play he was writing the music for. And it was the national anthem, God Save Our Gracious Queen, or actually it was God Save Great George Our King originally, because it was for George II, first of all. But it was this tune. Hear the difference? And it's lower. Then it's the same for a bit. The same, you see, and then different. And I love that little end. Okay, now he adapted that from what existed before, and it's likely to be by John Bull, although I've even seen somebody say that it comes from Plainsong. And but if you're going to consider that, I've got a book up on the shelf there which is that thick of Plainsong chants, so it'd be pretty difficult to find it. Somebody also said it came from Remember, O Thou Man, you know. Remember, O thou, thy time is spent. Remember. I don't think that would change into the national anthem, because that's sad and wistful and nostalgic, whereas the national anthem is quite different. Thomas Arne, we know, was at Eton College in 1725, and he set a version for Drury Lane Theatre, which is the one I just played to you then. Anyway, it now has become this version. Benjamin Britten did an arrangement of it, which I like, and various other people have done them as well. Hang on a minute. Good. Now let us just have a look and see if there's anything else I wanted to say to you. Yes, God Save Great George Our King. Let us now play it to you once again and have a go. There may be those amongst us who aren't used to singing and just wanted to do it. I'm particularly pleased that those people have come along, because it's an ideal time to sing it. You may find the last verse gets a little bit high. I've purposely put it down a little bit from what it's normally done in G. And I have a low voice, so I really like things to be low. But have a go at it. Now, if you don't know what voice you are, bear with me, those that really do. But the God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen, God save the Queen is easy. Then it gets the bit high. Send her victorious, happy and glorious. Then, long to reign over us, God save the Queen. That's when it's at its highest. And you may notice my fanfare starts with that. God save. That's why it starts like that. God save. That's what it's supposed to be. I don't know if I'd be interested to know if anyone noticed that and realised it. Anyway, so if you could do that, then and not much higher, then sing bass. Tenors do the same for the unison, of course, in the first verse, where everyone is singing the tune. Unison is everybody singing the tune. Sopranos and altos up an octave from tenors and basses who are down low. Then the second verse is in my harmony, where tenors sing, thy choicest gifts in score on her be pleased to pour, long may she reign. And it doesn't go much higher than that till the end. To sing with heart and voice, God save. That's the highest. If you can do, I can't do that, but God save the Queen. That makes you able to sing tenor. Then altos, who are sometimes cruelly known as sopranos who can sight read. Altos, you for the second verse, you have this tune. Thy choicest gifts in store. Whereas sopranos are up here. Usually sopranos and altos can both sing either part, but one feels better and sounds better than the other. One is fuller than the other. So you judge. You just decide what you would most like to do. Okay, and then sopranos, you'll know already. But then in the last verse, if you want to do the descant, you've got to be able to sing. Right up there. Okay. Now let's the. So if you're in the mood for trying that out now, go on, have a go. Now let's the bells again. One, breathe, go. Now let's the bells. Okay, and then if you can do that, you can work out the rest of them. And then in the penultimate chord, I'd like altos to go up. Okay. And altos join the descant, the second half of the descant, while everyone else is on the tune. But do what you like there. It'll all fit in if you do one of those things. So now, someone has told us that she can reach it today. That's splendid. Then let that be for every day. And of course you can sing all of them. You can just contribute to all of them. I don't think you'll get your photograph more than once, but you can sing all of them anyway. I have to tell you, I have a personal high regard for the Queen. I think she's an amazing lady, that she's managed to not to have an opinion at all the right points when you sort of think, oh, come on. But that's not what the monarch in a democracy is for, and she knows exactly that and is so wonderful at doing it. And she gives an example of calm joy all the time. I can remember one of my memories. I will tell you a couple of memories of the Queen. We had a little do at Eton, and the provost was Martin Charteris, who had been her private secretary, and he said to me, I'd like it if you did a little concert for the Queen. And so I said, delighted, of course. And we did it with all the younger boys. And afterwards there was supper for them, and the Queen was on the end of the table with the boys. So she just sitting on her own with all of these boys who'd been singing. And there was silence at the beginning, of course. And and so she said to them, and they were all sort of looking, wondering what to say. And she said to them, right, let's all go round the table and introduce ourselves. I'll start. I'm the Queen. And of course they all laughed their heads off and got on with it. And I'm sure she must have used that trick a lot, but it was so sweet when she did. It was so lovely. Anyway, so here we go. Let us some stories of the Queen coming up in the chat now. Good. Queen met Trudeau with the blue and yellow flowers behind her. Oh, yes, how absolutely lovely. Good. I'm sorry, I'm looking at some of your stories on the chat. Let us have a go at singing again. And let me tell you again, if you think, oh, I don't make a very nice sound, I'd better be very careful and gentle, you're almost certainly wrong. Just do it. Just sing, okay? Don't worry about that. And encourage others in the house to do it, and perhaps encourage friends to do it. And I know people who just through a chance conversation have started singing, and it's been a major part of their lives. And after that, it really is worth getting people to do it. Here we go. Thank you, Luke, and we will meet Luke. communicate. Just think, sing your head off, sing out of yourself. Sing across to someone else or to the wall. Upper semitone we go. Breathe. Breath. Have a go at the desk guard. Go on. Okay, so that takes 6 beats at the end, 6 whole lovely beats. I hope you managed to get that feeling of communicating, the openness out of yourself. And so let's just all sing the first phrase and think what it means. And God save our gracious Queen. Just let her flourish. Encourage her, let her flourish. And just sing the first little phrase and feel it in a giving kind of way. God save our gracious Queen. Everybody together to go. God save our gracious Queen. Okay. And then each time when you take a breath, don't take a breath, oh, I need a breath, oh, ah, like that. Take a breath, an eager breath, which means, oh, I can do it again now. So take an excited breath, and then you will sing with excitement as well. And then, long live our no, got it wrong. I'll do it again. 2, 3. Long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Okay, each time mean it. Have something important to say. Now, when I'm singing it, I feel this is getting a little bit high. Okay, but if I just enjoy it and feel I'm making progress with it, is better. So basses who think, oh, everything's too high for me to sing, you have sympathy from me, but this is how to overcome it. Okay, send her victorious. Let's go from send her victorious, happy and glorious. So send 1, 2, go. Send her victorious, happy and glorious to, sorry, I got that wrong. Long to reign over. 1, 2, go. Long to reign over us, God save the Queen. Okay, and you don't really have to hold it on for Queen, but it's nice if you do. God save the Queen. Then the next verse. So before we finish, obviously we won't go on for the full hour, but before we finish, we will just have a go at it once again. And if you don't read, I know probably about half of you read music or even more. Actually, nobody is perfect at reading music, and nobody can't read music at all, because everybody knows that when the note goes that way, you sing a bit higher, and when it goes that way, you sing a bit lower. And generally speaking, the blacker it is, the faster they go. Okay, now that's basic, everybody knows that. And then, as time goes on, you become a little bit more sophisticated. You think, oh, that one with a little tail is very fast. Okay, for example, and that the dot after it, that adds a half. Oh, got it. We all go through that process at some stage or other as we learn how to do it. And one with a hole in it and a dot after it is the longest one we sing in this. That's 3 beats long, for example, and singing higher and singing lower. So I think probably one last go through, and then we will finish. George II, it was written for. He was the last British monarch to be born abroad. So he was one of the Hanoverian kings of George. And it was God Save Great George, our King. And that's what it was originally for. And here is the glorious St. George's Chapel. Mark had a lovely time going and joining Luke Bond, the organist, when he did it. And he describes what we all feel when we go to one of these great chapels. You actually have the privilege of going up to the organ loft, which lucky old Luke does every day, and playing and looking out over this wonderful place from this high position. Actually, also, there's a little secret place where the Queen can come and listen to what's going on, and nobody knows where it is, but it's just somewhere where she can hear what's going on in the chapel of St. George's without anyone knowing she's there. So, perhaps she was listening at the time. Anyway, and I had the privilege at one time of singing. They used to ask me to come and deputise if a bass couldn't make evensong one day. And so I sang quite a lot in St. George's Chapel around the late 80s. And that was absolutely lovely. And last plug before we go, evensong is something everybody can go to. It's one of the best creations, best inventions made in this country. And it was made by Cranmer by joining two of the ancient rites together, Compline and Vespers. And anybody can go. And there's a website, choralevensong.org, choralevensong.org. And if you go there, put in your postcode, it will tell you where your nearest and next evensong is. Do go. It's for people of all faiths and none, and you will love it. It's England's best kept secret, and but it's England's best invention by the great Thomas Cranmer. Anyway, and you can hear that. You can go to St. George's yourself. You can go and sit and listen in a service. You can go right up into the choir area and listen. Westminster Abbey, you can go there and listen to services. You don't have to be anything special. It'll look as if you're a tourist and you have to pay at the turnstile. You don't have to pay. You just say, I'm going to evensong. Cool, please come in. Of course, So do please do that. Now, here we go. We're going to do this one last time, and then I'll look forward to seeing the sopranos tomorrow, the altos after that. And I really enjoyed talking to you. And I've got a couple more name-dropping stories of the Queen. If you're good, I'll tell you later on. Okay, here we go. Well done, Luke. Bom, bom, bom. That's his feet. Here's his feet. Bom, bom, bom. Here we go, breathe.
God save our great
have a go at singing your part. Great to see you, great to talk to you, and I'll see sopranos tomorrow, altos the day after that, tenors the day after that, and basses on Sunday, and then